SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information.
Welcome to World Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Natalie Rydström. I'm joined now by sports writer and regular contributor to SBRForum, Richard O'Hagan, and we're going to be previewing the fourth one-day international taking place on Saturday. Richard, welcome to the show.
Hi, Natalie. It's good to be back with you.
So far, the only winner in this five-game series between England and Australia has been the rain. Are you expecting another rained-off event on Saturday?
It's looking a little bit dicey, certainly, Natalie. The forecast is sort of 50% rain, 50% dry, so we might actually get a game in. It might not be the full 50 over game, rather, but we might just about manage to see some play. But you've got to be a bit careful when you're betting on this one, because it looks like just about anything could happen.
Well, I was going to say, what does that do from sort of a betting standpoint? Will it put bettors off? Are people a little bit more nervous to make a bet on the game?
I think it naturally does make you a little bit more concerned, although most bookmakers will refund your stake if the game is not finished, so you shouldn't be too concerned. Where it does make things different is if you're going to bet in play particularly, and I've mentioned before about the bet that you make at 30 overs in these games, where you expect a team to double their score from there. Now, if the game is suddenly reduced in the number of overs, obviously those bets become a little dicier. So be careful, check the weather forecast. If by chance Saturday is set fair for the day, then you're fair game. You can go in and make those bets. But I wouldn't be looking to make them if I thought there was going to be a downpour that was going to shorten one of the innings, certainly.
Okay, good tip there, Richard. Well, let's move over to some odds here. Australia are the favourites, priced at 1.66, and England are priced at 2.2, odds courtesy of Bet365. Are you siding with the bookies for an Aussie win here?
Yes, Natalie, I'm definitely siding with the bookies for an Aussie win here. This England team, it's supposed to be a second string side, but they're not playing even like a second string. The guys that are good, that are going on the flight to Australia anyway for the return Ashes series, their mind seems to be on that. They were getting out in silly ways on Wednesday in the bit of play we did have. The guys that are not going to be going to Australia, they're not going anywhere, and they're not playing like they're going anywhere with their international careers. So the Australians all got something to fight for, all got some pride to fight for after the Ashes, and they are really doing it. So my money is on Australia for this game.
Okay, but what's happened with England? They won the Ashes and now they're just kind of like dissolving. What's happening here?
Well, the problem is that they've left out most of the guys that won the Ashes. Of the team that will play on Saturday, only Kevin Pietersen and Joe Root played in all the Ashes games. Stephen Finn played in one and was dropped afterwards because he wasn't in form. So that's between 8 and 9 completely new guys in this side, and they're just not pulling together as a team. They're not playing well. They're not playing consistently. So it's just been a real, almost handing the series to the Australians for the sake of resting the big guns to go out to Australia in November.
Okay, well, let's look at the betting market now. You said you're going for an Australia win. What about the other markets, for example, like top batsman market or correct score for this series? Where are your bets going for them?
Well, the top batsman market, I think you can really only just look at these on an individual game basis, because with the weather as it is, the series top batsman markets have become something of a lottery. So I am going for Aaron Finch will be a good bet for the top Australian batsman, but I quite like the look of George Bailey. He bats a little bit down the order, but he's their 2020 captain, so he knows how to get runs quickly. He's played a lot of cricket in England, and on the smaller Cardiff ground, I think that will play into his hands, because he's not the guy who's going to massively hit the ball over the boundary, but he will score a lot of runs. For England, I don't think you can look at anyone other than the captain, Owen Morgan. He's a great player in one-day cricket. He has shown flashes of good form in this series, and I think he will be the guy that leads the way for them. But on the series correct score, I think you've got to look at a 2-0 Australia win, because I don't see us getting both the remaining games finished. So Australia to win on Saturday. Monday's game will probably not take place at all, looking at the forecast. So 2-0 Australia.
Okay, wonderful. Richard, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome, Natalie.